Yes. Couldn't even knock, could yous? Fuck's sake. Alright, just having a cup of tea out of a Jaeger mug. The norm. It's a big ass mug, so more tea for me. I'm British, so I drink tea, so yeah. Alright guys. Alright. Welcome to a CD review. It's been a long ass time since I've done a CD review, so apologies if I'm a little bit rusty compared to what I used to be, but it's been a while, so do forgive me. And as I said before, I want to get consistent with them again, so yeah. So let's get the ball rolling. And the first album I'm going to be reviewing of this new line of ThatzNOTmetal 1983 videos is the new Cradle of Filth album, entitled Hammer of the Witches. This is released under Nuclear Blast Records in 2015. Now, Cradle of Filth really need no introduction. They're one of the biggest extreme metal bands in the world today. They headline massive fuck-off festivals, and they have a big following all around the world, and an array of great albums. Now, in all honesty, I can't claim to say I've been in love with recent Cradle of Filth. I mean, the last album, The Manticore and Other Horrors, it was an okay album. It was more of a step in the right direction for me, because the albums before that, Godspeed on the Devil's Thunder and Darkly Venus Versa, musically they've been okay, but it hasn't had that Cradle of Filth kind of vibe. It's been more of a gothic metal kind of vibe, and I know they've been known for crossing genres of like symphonic black metal with gothic metal, but it was seeming like they were going towards a more symphonic gothic metal kind of sound, but trying to be dark and twisted, and Danny Fields can pull off those lyrics and sound no bother, but those two albums, they just didn't work for me, and I think most Cradle of Filth fans can see where I'm coming from. Whereas I'm a fan of the older stuff like Dusk and Her Embrace, Principle of Evil Made Flesh, but I do like the newer share of like Thornography and Nymphetamine, which I know gets a bit of a mixed kind of emotion about it, but I like it. I think it's a pretty cool album. It's, in my opinion, the last time Cradle of Filth put something out that I really enjoyed was Nymphetamine. Like, Thornography is a bit of a hit and miss, but that's just my opinion. And now we'll get to 2015, and we see the release of Hammer of the Witches. Now, in all honesty, I wasn't really going to touch upon this album at all, because I thought Cradle of Filth felt like this is their new direction, they're sticking to it. But some part of me thought, you know what, it's worth giving it a try, and I am really glad I did. This is back to old school style Cradle of Filth. The kind of demonic, evil, catchiness, and just raw Cradle of Filth that everyone fell in love with, and I'm talking about like the Midian Nymphetamine kind of vibes going on, and it's just a great album to listen to. It definitely blew my mind a little bit, because as I've said, all the Cradle of Filth, the past couple of Cradle of Filth albums have been okay, but this is something that I was really impressed with. I loved the intensity of the drums. They were more up-paced than per usual. They were fast, they were punchy, and they had a really nice sound and production behind it. It didn't sound too clean, if you know what I mean. It sounded quite punishing, in all honesty. Then you got the symphonics behind the whole album are right there, embracing the music and surrounding the guitars, the drums, and the vocals very well, and creating this dark, evil, as if, how could I describe it? Like, as if like a church kind of like ambience. Like, it's really hard to describe. It's like quite creepy, in all honesty, as if you're walking through a graveyard. And I mean, I've walked home in like a dark kind of area and had this album on, and it just creates that atmosphere that this Cradle of Filth should be known for, if you ask me. And I absolutely love it. The tone of the keyboards is just perfect, well endowed and well engulfed is more the words into the mix, and I really enjoy that. Bass tone wise, now this is something that quite interested me. The tone was quite bright, but it didn't cut through the mix as much as modern day albums go by. Like the bass tone's really bright and you can hear click rattling of the bass tone, and quite frankly I really don't like that sort of tone. But this album, the bass tone on this album is really solid. There's a couple of bass solos here and there, like on a tone, and quite frankly, it sounds well endowed into the guitar tone, in which we're going to move on to now. A very bright, crispy guitar tone, very heavy and very dark tone, and the riffs kind of remind us of like an old school Cradle of Filth, like back to the Dusk and Her Embrace kind of album, like really more blackened than anything else, quite evil in all honesty. But yeah, overall musicianship wise, it's so good. The songs flow very nicely into one another. The sound overall is fantastic. It's just everything that I expected from the past two, three Cradle of Filth albums come at home into one new album. It's fantastic. And then Danny's vocals. Now, the funny thing is, on the past couple of albums, especially Darkly Darkly Venus Versa, he was kind of going for a bit more of a toned down kind of singing kind of vibes. Whereas you don't find that much on this album, in fact, barely even at all. It's all back to old Danny Filth, doing these high-pitched filth whistle, whatever it's called, doing that crisp as day. It's as if on the past couple of albums it's been kind of weak and like he's really trying to do it but not managing to pull it off. Whereas this album, and even on the Manticore and Other Horrors, he's actually got that tone back and it's sounding a lot more clearer, and it's as if he's looked at the reviews and gone, oh, the vocals are starting to slip up, I should probably work on those again. And he's actually gone away and actually coming home with his vocals, and I really do enjoy that. His low vocals that he's tend to be known for, they're really good. They've always been on par, if you ask me. He's really coming home with those vocals. They definitely fit well with his filth. It's a bit of a tongue twister that. Fit well with his like filth whistles and his high pitched vocals, and yeah, lyrically really good. A bit more back to the dark, twisted kind of gothy kind of stuff. Still kicking ass. Definitely a great album for the. Oh, I just kicked my tripod. I think I did that in the last video. Oh well, but yeah, definitely a great album. Definitely a solid stick in the Cradle of Filth discography. Now that I think about it, it's probably my. I'd have to say a second favourite Cradle of Filth album. It's definitely up there. It's definitely one of my favourites. Definitely every track kills on here. If I was to recommend a couple of tracks for you to check out, it would be Yours Immortally, Blackest Magic in Practice. I could barely read it there. Blackest Magic in Progress. I can't even fucking speak today. Blackest Magic in Practice. Hammer of the Witches, the title track, that's pretty awesome. I really like that one. But one of the ones that actually stuck with me was Right Wing of the Garden Triptych. That one is a pretty sick song. Kind of a step back to the Nymphetamine era, if you ask me. And The Vampire at My Side is definitely another one I would definitely recommend. I might leave some links down below so you can check out some tracks from this album. And I definitely urge you to pick up this album if you're a fan of the older style Cradle of Filth, like from, say, The Prince Will Leave, May Flesh, up to Nymphetamy. If you think that's the best era of Cradle of Filth and you're not really digging the new stuff, get on this album. As I said before, I wasn't going to turn a head for this album, but I'm glad I did and gave it the chance. It is phenomenal. And plus that artwork is pretty fucking sick. Really well done and all that. But yeah, for an overall score, I'm going to give this a definite 9 out of 10. It's definitely up there as one of my favourite albums of this year, and definitely something I'm proud to have picked up on CD. I'll probably end up picking it on vinyl maybe one day, I don't know, I haven't decided that yet, but definitely pick this up, definitely a 9 out of 10 for me. So yeah, that's my CD review, hope you enjoy it. I don't know what my next review is going to be, I'm just going to let them flow out the bath this time. When they're ready, they're ready. But yeah, I've got a couple of videos lined up, and I'll see you until the next video. And remember, stay metal. See you soon.